Consciousness, William James wrote, is like a river. It flows. It changes constantly. New experience arrives, old experience recedes, thoughts arise and pass, and the stream moves always forward. No moment of consciousness is exactly like any other. This is the nature of a healthy, flowing mind. But anyone who has lived with anxiety knows what happens when the stream stops flowing. When the same thought returns, and returns again, and again. When the same fear loops through awareness 15 times before noon. When sleep brings no relief because the stream circles even there, replaying the conversation from 2 weeks ago, anticipating the catastrophe scheduled for next week, rehearsing every possible failure and humiliation with obsessive thoroughness. The stream has become a whirlpool, all motion, no forward progress. James's metaphor of the stream of consciousness was a scientific description, but it turns out to be an extraordinarily precise phenomenological map of mental health and mental illness. The character of the stream, its flow, its variety, its responsiveness to the present moment, tracks closely with psychological well-being. When the stream is healthy, it moves through experience, taking in what is actually happening, responding appropriately, letting go, moving on. When the stream is disturbed, it loses this quality of responsive flow and develops characteristic patterns that we recognize as the symptoms of different mental difficulties. Rumination, the repetitive, involuntary reviewing of past events and future worries, is the most direct illustration of what happens when the stream gets stuck. In typical rumination, a limited set of thoughts and feelings cycles through awareness repeatedly, crowding out engagement with the present moment. The person is not doing this deliberately. The stream, once caught in the loop, keeps circling by its own momentum. Each visit to the worry feeds the next. Each replay of the painful memory primes another replay. The feedback mechanism that should move thoughts forward instead keeps them in place. Depression presents a different disturbance of the stream. Here the flow is not replaced by looping but by narrowing. The stream becomes slow, shallow, and constricted. Experience that once engaged and interested is now dull. The variety of the stream, its usual movement among concerns, memories, plans, perceptions, relationships, collapses to a narrow channel dominated by pain, worthlessness, and hopelessness. Not only does the depressed person feel bad, they feel bad in the same way, repeatedly, without the natural variation of consciousness that provides even small reliefs in ordinary experience. Anxiety operates differently again. Here the stream is not narrowed but flooded, overwhelmed by threat-relevant signals that arrive faster than they can be processed. The anxious mind scans constantly for danger, treats ambiguous information as threatening, and amplifies every potential risk into vivid, detailed scenarios of disaster. The stream is too active, too fast, too full, but full of the wrong content, dominated by a threat detection system running far beyond its appropriate level of activation. James's stream metaphor immediately suggests a therapeutic direction. The goal is to restore the natural quality of flow. Not to eliminate thought. You cannot empty a stream, but to restore its movement, its variety, its responsiveness to the actual present moment rather than to the recycled content of past pain or future fear. Modern mindfulness-based therapies are built on precisely this insight, often without explicit reference to James. Mindfulness meditation trains the observer capacity, the ability to notice thoughts as events in the stream rather than being fully identified with their content. This is the crucial distinction James's metaphor illuminates. There is a difference between being the stream and watching the stream. A thought that anxiety insists is an urgent reality to be addressed immediately looks different when it can be observed as just another current in the flow of consciousness. Vivid, perhaps distressing, but also impermanent, like everything else in the stream. Acceptance and commitment therapy, one of the most evidence-based modern treatments for anxiety and depression, is largely about developing this observer relationship to the stream, accepting that difficult thoughts and feelings will arise without fighting them or being defined by them, and committing to movement toward valued living regardless of what the stream currently contains. This is pragmatic psychology in James's own spirit, not asking whether your thoughts are true, but asking whether acting on them takes you in the direction you want to go. James himself was not immune to the stuck stream. He suffered from what he recognized as depression and existential despair in his 20s, and his eventual recovery was partly built on a pragmatic decision to act as if freedom and meaning were real, regardless of what his current mental weather suggested. He knew from inside what it was to be caught in a loop, and he knew from inside what it felt like when the stream began to move again. The stream can unstick. It is not in the nature of experience to remain forever in one place, but it needs help, attention, movement, connection, honest engagement with the present. That is the direction healing points. Subscribe to the Psychology of William James for more insights from the father of American psychology. New videos every week.